You want details? Fine. I drive a Ferrari, 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can possibly imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
Life advice is lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. We got one here because we have a bunch of other stuff. So let's get to it. All right. I think we're going to leave the name out. This isn't that big of a deal. Some of you guys, by the way, are asking some really heavy, serious stuff, which I'm not saying don't send those in. But I got to be honest, I'm a tad skeptical that I'm the guy to deal with some of your issues. You know, we're having some fun here, but I don't know that I should be diagnosing things. Probably not qualified for that.
Somebody send you a picture of their foot or something? Like, what do you think?
No, but I did have that happen to me once in 2001 when I was doing small business health insurance consulting. I wasn't even selling the policies. It was kind of a joke.
Oh, no.
I don't know that I've told that whole story, but I will get to it one day, because I was there basically just be like, look, I just signed this piece of paper, so I'm now named your consultant, done and done. And they were like, okay, but what's this on my foot? I was like, no. I bartend and play Madden. So I can't help you with your mole. Okay. All right. Here's this question. Yeah. Super quick for someone new to living alone. I'm 23 in graduate school in Chicago. I love the city so far, but have one bedroom apartment for the first time in my life. I am new to living alone. It's been an adjustment going from having 3 roommates for the last 4 years. I really just want to hear why you like it and how you make the most of it. Pretty open-ended question, but I know you've talked about living alone since your mid-20s and wanted to hear your thoughts on it. Love the show, and thanks. Okay. Wanted a writing update. Don't have one. Okay. I have not had, let's see, my dorm roommates, college, obviously. One summer on the Vineyard, a girl asked me to live with her that we met in college, and I was an 18-year-old prick and had buddies over, and we left beer cans outside, and it was a mess. I will admit, even, wow, oh God, 27 years later, I broke a window with a lacrosse ball. They were so nice to me. The family was so nice to me, and I didn't understand that at the time. And then it was just the immaturity of like, oh, because she's like, hey, you're going to move out because my family's coming down. I was like, oh, what? But there was stuff going on in my home that I didn't want to deal with. So I was like, oh, all right, fine. And then, there was like a cable bill that still wasn't settled, and I wasn't a mean person. I just was a kid. And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? Cable bill, broken window. We did replace the window and covered the expense of that. But that one didn't work out great for her. I had a blast. And then I had roommates in college. And then I had a roommate 1 year out of college. And then I rented a room. I subletted a room from another guy as I was finishing up my degree. And then after that, pretty much I've lived alone. I'll tell you what kind of spawned the whole thing is the last time I had roommates, I think it was 02, 03-ish, because I did live alone, I think 99, 2000, 2001, and then 2002 in New Jersey, I lived alone. For what I needed to do, especially career-wise, when I first got into Boston, I was getting up in the morning and doing those shows. I couldn't be living with a bunch of idiots. And I had this one stretch where I had an apartment in Somerville, outside of Boston, and they were guys I'd known a long time, and one to this day is still a lifelong friend. And there's another guy, like you think of that line in Good Will Hunting where Robin Williams explains Matt Damon's friends to the other guys, like this guy would do anything, and this guy would, like, I had one of those friends who would, no questions asked, what do you need me to do? But he also was kind of a mess of a guy, and he was big into pills, and it sucked because I would be working construction on the Vineyard for a couple days and take the ferry over, drive up to Boston and park and go down to my bedroom. And I'm trying to get this career started. And I'd be infrequently started to fill in on some shows here and there. So it was starting to actually happen, which didn't even make any sense at the time. And this guy sucked, and he could also kick my ass, which made it worse because I was getting so upset that I was telling one of the other guys, I was like, I've about had it. I was like, this might happen. And he's like, look, I get it. Yeah, in school, you're bigger now. He's like, but he's still going to kill you. It's like, yeah, probably. But I was like, I'm just so mad about this. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I mean, it was almost coming to blows the entire time. And so then shout out to Phil and Chris, who lived in Boston, and they were younger dudes from Vermont, and they let me sleep on their couch. I slept on their couch for a few months, and then my career started, and I was able to move in and get my own place. The point for me is that I have a routine that's not all that great to deal with. I get up, It's different now on the West Coast, but it's earlier now. I get up, I start my day. I mean, Saturday, Sunday, I'm watching 20 plus hours of football. I just am. And then I don't want somebody telling me to change the channel. I mean, look, when there's a certain age where you shouldn't have roommates. Okay. You just shouldn't. Like over 30 and you're living with a bunch of other guys. I don't know. I mean, if you're into it, that's great. Yes, when I was younger, and I'm not telling you shouldn't have roommates now at 23 and you're in grad school. Like if you get one, cool. I would give anything to have 3 roommates. Would be like, all right, what's in the mix? It's Friday night, and again, normal Fridays aren't the same. I would kill for the time travel ability to just have a Friday where everybody's kind of rolling in and trying to figure out what the plan is. Or a Thursday. Give me a good Thursday. Like back in the day, it's been way too long and it's not going to happen. That doesn't exist as you get older. It just goes away. So you're still young enough, but maybe you're a social creature and you don't like being by yourself all the time. I, unfortunately, am so the other way now. Like the idea of me having a roommate, like somebody asked me a couple of years ago when I first moved to Manhattan Beach, was like, hey, do you mind? Like, could I live with you in your spare room? I was like, are you fucking high? Like, no, I don't want to live with anybody. Like, don't take it personally, but I don't want to come home and have the TV on a channel. I don't want to come home and have somebody cooking something that I don't like. I don't want to do any of these things. If you're in your early 20s or whatever, you're probably not even thinking about any of this stuff. But as you get older, I don't know, man, coming home to a roommate at this stage of my life, I think there's older guys listening to this right now being like, yeah, what's the advice? There's no real debate here. If you feel like you're lonely, I don't know, it sucks. It's Chicago and it's COVID and it's about to get real cold and weird. So I don't know what to tell you, but I think there are some people out there that do want constant social stimuli. Is that the way to phrase it? Kyle, maybe you should take this one. Do you have a roommate right now?
I do. And it was like one of my best buds from home. And it's just, once it gets bad, it stays bad. I just,
So it went bad?
Yeah, it's going bad right now. But,
what's the problem? Wait a minute. You should have been talking this whole time. My bad.
No,
go ahead.
It's fine.
Take the floor.
No, it's just, I brought him out. He stayed on the couch for a while. I'm not proud of it. We kind of forced the other roommate out just because like I wanted to get him in the other bedroom because I didn't like the other guy. We had like weird interactions and stuff. So
give me an example of a weird interaction.
I don't know, like the way he would go through rooms and stuff. And like, I don't know, we'd both be in the kitchen and, I'd try to like say something and it's like, getting like grunts and shit. And I don't know. It was just weird. The way he even came in, he like took the apartment from his sister when I was already in there. I didn't really have a say in the matter. I just didn't like it. So I got my buddy from New York to come out and he stayed on the couch for like, I'm not kidding you, dude, like 8 months. And then the other guy was like, all right, I think I'm going to leave. And we were like, yes. So fast forward a year and he's like, he's late on rent. I mean, it's like, 20 days and, just kind of being a dick about it. It's just a bunch of stuff where it's like, now that it's gone bad, it's just bad. So I agree with what you're saying. Is like, I think like now that we're in the house too, it's like, it'd be nice to have like a safety safe. And, it's just not the case anymore.
So wait, you're still living with this guy right now?
Yeah.
So first of all, you got rid of the other roommate by just sort of hazing him into the idea that your buddy was sleeping on the main living room couch.
I'm not proud of that at all. I'm not.
So you planned this to be like, let's make this suck so bad. You'll sleep on the couch and then he'll move out.
Yes. Yes. Not one of my finer moments, but that's okay, karma for it right now.
But now this is almost like the guy that marries the woman or vice versa who's constantly cheating.
Yes.
It's like, so this guy was capable of sleeping on the couch for 8 months to force out the other guy, and now you're living with him, and that part sucks. You probably should have seen that coming.
Totally. But even my dad told me, it's like the other time I got an apartment when I was 19, the same thing happened, but the guy basically turned into like pills, like you said. And then it's like, shit, I think somebody jumped through my window. Oh, wait, was that my roommate? Nice. So it's just, I've had two like bad, but college experience is great. But outside of it, it's just, I'd like to live alone too.
Yeah. Cause then once I was getting up at 4 a.m. for work, I couldn't live with anybody, I couldn't. But I also too, like the weird thing me as a roommate is if you're going to do something fun, and this is when I'm a lot, it doesn't even matter, but you don't want to be the roommate who's like, you can never do anything fun because I need my sleep. But then you also can't be the roommate who's like, hey, I am not working for 6 months and I'm just going to tear it up every single night and have no respect for your deal. Like anything, there needs to be compromise.
Now there's guys on my couch. It's like, who's the guy?
Do you have guys on your couch again?
No, but like, it's like for like a day and it's like, who the fuck was this guy? And it's like, whatever. He's a subtenant. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll have to figure this out. I think we're approaching the end, but I'm living it. So count your blessings, guy in Chicago.
Sure are. All right, there you go. That's life advice. Please subscribe, rate, and review to the Ryen Russillo Podcast, the Ringer Podcast Network. We'll talk to you next week.